Hey guys, we're going to continue exactly where we left off with our transitions and move into CSS animations. Before we begin, I'd just like to say do subscribe, do hit the bell icon, and do let me know if there's any specific topic that you'd like me to cover in HTML CSS. But other than that, let's just get started. So here I have my CSS file. I've written some CSS for the box and so on and so forth. Let's just keep the CSS for the box, remove the transitions. Let's just go ahead and remove those. And let's just see how we go about animating this particular box. So there's a property, for example, there's actually a property named animation minus name. So where you can actually define the animation, you can actually choose sliding animation or something along those lines. Now these animations are something, or animations that you yourself actually need to create. So you can also set like the duration, for example, you can set the delay, you can set all of these things. So I'm going to say animation minus duration is going to be, let's say, 3 seconds. I'm now going to actually create my animation. I'm going to say, as you can see, I go ahead and do this. It says like, what do you want to name your animation? I want to say I want to name it sliding. And what I can do here, I can say that this animation is actually going to begin from, let's say, it's going to begin from transform, and we're going to say translate X. So it's going to begin from obviously 0 pixels, and then it's going to go from to a particular point. So it's going to go to, and similarly, we're just going to copy this, and we're going to say it's going to go to, let's say, 300 pixels or something along those lines. Now, if we actually save, as you can see, this animation is actually moving on its own. I haven't done anything. I'm not hovering over it. If I save, which actually refreshes the page, this animation actually moves. Now I can actually have anything here. For example, I can say that this background color obviously is going to be green in the beginning, but after that, at the end, it's going to be yellow or something along those lines. So as we can see, it moves from green to yellow, or let me just give it a more pronounced color, maybe purple or something along those lines. So from green to purple. So here we have the animation. What other things we can do here? Well, instead of saying, let's say from to true, which is from to 2, which is basically 0% to 100%, we can say that this animation can go from 0 to, let's say, a 50%, and at 50%, the background color, instead of, let's say, purple, it's going to be, I don't know, violet. So if we actually go here, it's going to make the color violet first, and then it's going to go to the purple color. And similarly, we can say that the transform X is instead going to be transform Y, and we're going to say 300 pixels. So what's going to happen is it's going to first go down, and then it's going to move upwards. And we can do extremely powerful things here. So I can say 75%, it's going to do something really fancy. It's actually going to go here. Then instead of, let's say, let's just go ahead and see what else we can do. We can actually say that it's going to, let's say, rotate. It's going to rotate at the Z index by, let's say, I don't know, 180 degrees or something. Let's just go ahead and try that, how that looks. So it goes there, it actually rotates, and it's just like really fancy stuff that we can actually play around with here. I can actually go ahead and say this is going to be 360 degrees. And as we can see, this animation, it goes down, it rotates, then it actually does like really a lot of fancy stuff. And obviously I haven't like, again, combined them. So let's just go ahead and combine them, and let's just play them. So as we can see, we have the rotate, we have the translate, we have all of those things going on here. A few other things that you can probably know, obviously you can have any properties that you want here, and most of those properties should ideally work. Similarly, for example, if you actually wanted to apply a delay similar to, let's say, transitions, we can actually go here and say the delay should be, let's say, 5 seconds or something. I'm sorry, I don't want to do 5 seconds because that's just going to be so long. I'm going to say 2 seconds. The animation is actually going to begin after 2 seconds, and then it's going to go and do all of those things. Similarly, we can also say the animation is actually going to be minus 2 seconds. And what minus 2 seconds is going to do, it's going to pretend like this animation actually began 2 seconds before the page loaded or whatever. So if we actually say minus 2 seconds, as you can see, it's already in the middle of the animation. We can also say, let's just go ahead and increase the duration. Let's just make it 10 seconds. So it's actually beginning in the middle of the animation. It actually begins as if the animation started 2 seconds ago. Similarly, we can also set how many times the animation is actually going to happen, we can say, and let's just go ahead and remove this -2 seconds. Let's just reduce the animation count as well. And similarly, we can say the iteration count. We can say it can be infinite, or let's say it can be 3. So when we say 3, that means this animation is going to run only 3 times. So it does that, then it goes back again 3 times, so on and so forth. That second, and then we have the third one, and now it's not going to run. If we want to make it run infinitely, then we can obviously say it's going to be infinite. It's going to do all of those things, that, and then again that, and it's going to keep on going forever, hopefully. So those are a few things that you need to know about. Some other things that you can probably know about is you can actually run the animation in reverse. So for example, currently it's running in normal. If you say reverse, I just went ahead and did that. So as you can see, it actually starts opposite from where it actually began. Similarly, we can say alternate. With alternate, it's gonna, so let's just go ahead and refresh it. So with alternate, it's gonna start similar to how it actually did. Then it's actually gonna alternate. It's gonna, first of all, so for example, it starts from its original thing, then it actually moves back again. So it's like sort of a linear thing. So you don't have to actually worry about how this animation, we have to reset it or anything. Once it actually does something like this, it's going to alternate how it works. So similarly, you can have the alternate reverse here, which is again going to start this animation alternately and also going to reverse it. So, but you obviously don't, ideally, we don't usually use it that much. We use alternate, or we just use normal. And yeah, those are the things that we actually just use. A few other things that you can obviously probably know about is the obviously similar to what we said, like for example, the transition effect. Similarly, we can say the transition, for example, we can actually say animation minus timing minus function. And this is actually going to allow us, and let me just go ahead and reduce the complexity of this so we can actually see what's going on. Let's just remove this and actually just see how that works. I'm also, yeah, here we have the animation. It's running really smoothly. Now we can say animation minus timing minus function. And with the timing function, we can say whether it's going to be linear. If I actually say linear, it's going to move really slowly. It's going to move in the same speed. Similarly, if I say ease, it's going to move really smoothly. If we say ease in, it's going to start it's going to start slow, it's going to get speed up at the end. Ease out is going to start fast, and then it's going to ease up when it reaches the end, so on and so forth, which you basically can figure out yourself. A few other things, I guess, that I can talk about are, let me think. So all of these things that we've just examined here, we can actually give it in a and directly just by saying animation, similar to how when we said like transition and we gave all of those properties in a single line. We can say that it's going to be sliding. Then we can say it's going to run for 3 seconds. We can say that it's going to be it's going to ease in, or so on and so forth. It's going to have a delay of, let's say, 2 seconds. It's going to be infinite. And then we can figure out whether it's going to run in the opposite direction, or so on and so forth, or whether it's going to be alternating. And now we can actually remove all of these things and see what happens. So there's a 2-second delay. It starts, it's going to ease in, and then it's going to go back and forth. So for example, it's going to start from its position, then it's going to alternate, it's going to come right back, and then so on and so forth. This animation is going to continue infinitely. So I think that's pretty much it. I don't think we have any other major things to cover. Obviously, you can tweak these properties however you want. You can reflect them, you can flip the box, you can play around with this however way you want. So that's pretty much it. Do subscribe, do hit the bell icon, do let me know if you need anything else. But other than that, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.